The activity card sort is a measure of occupation and participation in older adults used by occupational therapists to understand the client's level of participation. There are 4 categories of activities included: instrumental, high-demand leisure, low-demand leisure, and social. There are 3 versions of the activity card sort: institutional version, recovering version, and community living version. Today we will be using the recovering version, Form B, on Mr. Gwynn due to his recent shoulder replacement.
Hey, Mr. Gwynn. My name is Hannah. I'm an occupational therapy student. How are you today?
Doing fine.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You were recently referred by Dr. Todd after your shoulder replacement.
Correct.
And he also mentioned that you're having some back pain. Have you noticed your injuries interfering with your activity participation?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do today is we're going to do an activity. It's called the activity card sort. What we're going to do is this is going to help us identify the activities that you enjoy but you haven't been able to do as much since your injury, and we're going to hopefully in therapy incorporate that into treatment so you can get back to those activities. Okay, so there are 4 stacks of activities. It's instrumental activities, low demand leisure, high demand leisure, and social activities.
Okay.
I'm going to hand you each of these stacks, and I want you to sort into one of the 5 categories: not done prior to current illness, continue to do during illness, do less since illness, given up to illness, and then new activities since illness.
Okay.
Do you have any questions before we begin?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we're going to start with this stack, and if you have any questions as you're doing it, just feel free to ask.
Okay. Resting. Continue to do. Beauty shop, barbershop. Yes. Continue doing that. Child care. Don't think
Your children are all pretty grown.
all grown. Not done. Yes. Work, paid. Not done. Dishes, continue to do. Laundry, continue to do.
Okay. Now for our next stack, the low demand leisure activities. And again, you're just going to sort into the same 5 categories.
Okay. Letter writing, continue to do during illness. Bird watching, continue to do during illness. Going to museum, continue to do. Going to garden or park, continue to do. Attending concerts, not done prior to. Going to casino, continue to do. Bingo lottery, continue to do. Going to the theater, watching movies, watching television, listening to music, listening to radio, sitting and thinking.
All right. Now for the high demand. Okay, and again, this stack, do the same 5 categories.
Gardening, growing flowers, do a little less since injury. Playing team sports, giving up. Woodworking would be given up. Bowling would be given up. Golfing would be giving up. Walking, continue to do. Running, run up.
Okay, and then for our last category, social activities.
Studying for personal advancement, still do that. Traveling local, regional, still do that. Traveling national, international, and giving up. Parties, picnics continue. Family gatherings continue. Talking on the telephone continue. Visiting family and friends who are ill continue. Visiting with friends continue. Eating at restaurants continue.
Okay, great. Well, that is the end of sorting the cards. Now I want you to identify for me, out of all those 89 pictures that you sorted, what were the 5 that are most important to you and that you enjoy?
Shopping.
Okay.
Watching television. Playing on the internet.
Okay.
Yard work. Watching television and cover all the sports activities. eating out,
Okay.
restaurants.
Going to dinner. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to take a look at, I'm going to score this test up and take a look at the results. And the next time we meet, I will go over them with you, and we'll see how we can incorporate these 5 activities back into your daily routines.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To score the activity card sort, begin by placing a check mark in the first column for every card placed under the Not Done Before Current Injury category. Next, for each of the activities grouped under the remaining 4 labels, circle the number in the column on the scoring form that corresponds to the choice made during the card sort. Continue to do during illness or injury, doing less since illness or injury, given up due to illness or injury, or new activity since injury or illness. If you have circled a number in the continue to do, doing less, or given up columns, also circle in the done previously column. After you have recorded the cards appropriately on the scoring form, calculate the total for each of the 4 sections: instrumental, low demand leisure, high demand leisure, and social. Each section consists of a current activity level, a previous activity level, and the percent retained since the injury. To calculate the current activity level, add the columns continue to do during injury, doing less since injury, and new activity. To calculate the previous activity level, add the items circled in the done previously column. To calculate the percent of activities retained, divide the current activity score by the previous activity score. Do this for the 4 sections. To obtain a global score for the activity card sort, begin by adding the 4 current activity levels from each of the 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. To add the previous activity levels from the 4 sections, do the same. For the total percent of activities retained since the injury, divide the global current score by the global previous score. For example, Mr. Gwynn scored 54 for current activity and a 62 for previous activity, resulting in 87% for retained activities since his injury. Down here, you will see the 5 activities that Mr. Gwynn identified as the most important during the assessment.
Hey, Mr. Gwynn, how are you today?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, I had a chance to look over your results from the activity card sort that we did last session. And since your surgery, you have retained 87% of activity participation, including the 5 activities that you identified were the most important, which were shopping, watching television and sports, playing on the computer, yard work, and going to dinner. And since you're able to still do the things that are the most important to you, occupational therapy services are not recommended at this time. But if you have any questions or problems in the future, please contact us and we'd be happy to help.
Very good. Thank
Okay,
you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks.